So in my last entry, I was in Agra and I was just about to go see the Taj Mahal. Now, I described how I felt when I saw it from far away, from the rooftop of my hotel. And it's even more beautiful and even more spectacular up close. When you're in the grounds and you're looking at it, you get the sense it's one of those things that you're only gonna witness a few times in your life again. I can only compare it to Angkor Wat, maybe the Eiffel Tower the first time I saw it, and I don't know, maybe it's the way people feel when they see Big Ben or the Tower of London. It's just spectacular. It's just something that you just can't fathom was built by other people. But what you find about the Taj Mahal is as big and spectacular as it is on the outside. You forget that it's not actually a temple. It's not a religious building at all. It's actually someone's tomb. So the inside really isn't that big. So all in all, I was wrapped up with the Taj Mahal about 10 o'clock and I decided to make my way to Jaipur, which is the third part of the Golden Triangle of North India. Jaipur is famed for its for what's called the Pink City. It's an old part of the town that dates back to around the 17th century, and the centerpiece of which is a palace. So went and had a look at that, walked around, it was very good, incredibly busy, had a look at the palace, which houses these two silver jars that are 1.6 meters, which is just shy of my height, and they're made of pure silver, so they're quite a sight to behold. But I wrapped that up pretty quickly, and in trying to see the rest of the old city, I actually got lost and found myself wandering around a residential area. So I did that for about half an hour, and I stumbled across this park and just decided to have a sit down and chill out. And that actually started the favourite part of my day, because when I was sitting down, in the distance I could hear some music coming from some speakers, and I was like, okay, I'm going to move towards that. It sounds really good. And as I moved towards it, there was, I don't know how to quite describe this area, there was like an underpass, and there were people sitting down, and there were a number of musicians chanting, and they had some microphones all set up, so the music was coming outside the speakers, and there were a few people sitting around and clapping. So I took off my shoes and sat on this matted area and just sat down for a while and just chilled out, and it was just so serene and so beautiful. The park was lovely, people were chilling out. I think it was the weekend, so I don't know if that means the same thing to the Indians that it does to us, but it was a Sunday. There seemed to be quite a few people about. There were monkeys everywhere. It was just great, and that was as a result of getting lost and deviating from the plan. So that was brilliant. And while I was sitting there is a kind of fort that overlooks the whole city. It's called the Amber Fort. It's a big yellow, massive castle on this kind of cliff ridge. And I decided that I wanted to try and walk up there. And I'd read in a little guide that there's a 2-kilometer path to try to get up there. So I went towards the cliff face, and I was walking through the town, asking for directions, and I asked this one guy if he knew how to get to the steps, and he was sitting on a motorbike, and he said, oh yeah, jump on, and I was like, oh, okay, how much? I assumed he was a taxi driver. He said, no, nothing. And just out of the kindness of his heart, because he wanted to help me out, he drove me to the steps, and I walked up. So that was brilliant. Those were two great parts of my day. Really displayed someone's generosity in just helping out a complete stranger, which is a lot different because constantly people are trying to vie for your attention and for your money, and this guy just decided to do it. So that was really neat. And the music in the park is one of my highlights thus far as well, which is really peaceful. So I'm back in Delhi now. I've completed the triangle, and I'm going to catch a flight to Goa in South India. So it's a 4-hour flight in all, and I'm going to be in a completely different part of the country. And I'm going to get to Goa on New Year's Eve, because it's now New Year's Eve. I'm going to get there in the afternoon of New Year's Eve. So I'll let you know how that goes.